Hey there Star Wars fans, and welcome back to Astromech Productions, a Star Wars and LEGO Star Wars YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll be reviewing the LEGO Star Wars 75151 Clone Turbo Tank. As with all my review videos, I'll first start off with set details, I'll then move on to the box and instructions, then design and aesthetics, playability, minifigures, and I'll finish up with my final thoughts and opinions. So as I said, this is set number 75151, it has 903 pieces, 6 minifigures, and is recommended for ages 9 to 14. It was released in 2016 for £110, $110 or €120. Now some of you might know this vehicle is the A6 Juggernaut, and the reason that it's called the Clone Turbo Tank in LEGO is that Marvel hold the right to an X-Men character called Juggernaut, so LEGO weren't allowed by copyright laws to call this Juggernaut. So guys, now obviously moving on to the box and instructions. So starting with the box, this is obviously the 2016 box. We have the Kylo Ren here at the top, and a really nice picture of the Turbo Tank on the front. We have all of our 6 minifigures there on the bottom, and I said this really nice action scene here. Love this. I've seen it's obviously the Revenge of the Sith themed on Kashyyyk. You can see the mountains behind. On top we have this display of minifigures there, and Luminar and Julie off to the side there. Again, really nice colour scheme. On the back we have now what's a slightly smaller display thing. So obviously now it kind of will fill this, and then these will be there. But this is obviously old style. So we have a back view of the Juggernaut there, display features there, force builder up there, and then again these really nice blueprints that I talked about in the First Order Transporter thing. They don't have the full blueprint here, but I still really like that kind of design there. This was a set that had the tape there, as you can see, no thumb tabs, which again I really love. Details on the bottom and a blank side. Nowadays we usually have something there. I think that's not a huge problem for me, and that's it for the box. Now on to the instructions. Okay, so this is the instruction manual, quite a small instruction manual actually, just one book, and as you can see it's not particularly thick at all. Now inside it is very much like your normal standard instruction manual, the blue background, piece at the top. Effect at the back we have the other sets from the era, the minifigures. Again, qualities, that force builder app that was advertised on the box, and then the range of pieces there, and then that advert. Back, it's a fairly simple, very standard LEGO Star Wars instruction manual. So now we're obviously moving on to the design and aesthetics category, and in terms of design aesthetics, I think this is without a doubt the best looking Clone Turbo Tank that we've ever seen. I just think the mixture in colours here is amazing. You've got that beautiful kind of burgundy red at the front, then that olive green, and then these blues on the side that you get from the weapons. I just think it looks fantastic. So starting from the front and working our way back, we have this kind of cockpit section. I'll get into all the interior stuff later, with these nice headlights here. Just a fairly kind of geometric thing here, and it works quite well. There's a nice amount of studs on top. It's good, quite good greeveling here, but it's not kind of excessive. And yet the thing I like about the set is it's got just the right mixture between studs not showing, so smooth pieces, and studs showing, and I think that just works really well, especially right here. You've got these 2 small guns at the front. Again, I'll get into those later. Now coming around to the side, you can see that again we have this kind of nice long strip along there, these red colours here, and then not as much greeveling on here. I would have liked a tiny bit more, but I think it's fairly simple and that keeps it nice. Then have this slightly thinner section there, and then it comes out again for another cockpit piece there with some nice clear pieces. Now this section here where the wheels are and you can see the Technic stuff, I think they actually did that very well, because they managed to make it so that you don't see lots of the Technics. I mean, you can obviously see that there's Technic there, but you don't see all of the pins really easily. You just get these kind of 2 red bits there, but because there are the red bits there, you can't really see them, and they're fairly well hidden. But The colours they use in here are really nice, just because they're quite simple and they fit with the tone. They have got that kind of cream pin there, whereas all the rest are grey, and I would have preferred if they'd used grey for that, just because it stands out slightly, but it's not a huge problem. Coming around to the back, we can just see another fairly simple design. There, I would have preferred it if they'd used a burgundy piece instead of the grey piece. You know, it's not a huge problem. And then this side is the exact same as the other side. Now on the top, we can see that we do have a nice amount of greebling there. We have this stud shooter there, which I'll get into again later, but I think that looks really nice and fits with the aesthetic of the ship. Small amounts of greebling there, and just kind of little odds and ends on here. And these two bits, again, I think really work well, because it means that you don't have to have too much greebling, but the ship still looks good. And you know, as I said, I think this is by far the best looking clone turbo tank that we've had to date. Now, one of the major complaints when this came out was the size of the model. It is a massive downscale from the previous two models, and for me that's okay. I can work with that, but you know, because I think it more than makes up for it in terms of the design. And I'm going to talk about this a bit later, but I would have liked it if it was a bit bigger, but it doesn't bother me that it's not bigger. Like, I'm okay with it being this size, but I think overall in terms of design aesthetics, they did a brilliant job with the set. There are a few things I'd change, but overall not that much. I think it's a really, really solid build in terms of that category. So now on to my favourite category, and that is the playability. And this set just oozes playability. It has so much great stuff packed into this small space, and it's going to be really fun to go through it with you all. So first we have these two small cannons at the bottom. They just fire up and down, fairly simple, and they are, I believe, anti-personnel cannons. And then coming into the front cockpit section, this all lifts up, that comes down. You may want to push these down when you're putting a minifigure in there, so you get better access. Now you can just try and go on like this. These don't come out really on their own very much. You do have to fold all of that down, so I'm just going to do that now. And you have this nice open space there to put a minifigure in. So I'll go ahead and put Commander Gree in there, and you have space for two minifigures, one on either side. You can either put them there, or you can put them there. And they aren't the traditional Lego seats, they're the ones, I'm not sure if you can see, they probably can't because of the light. However, they are the type that you just slot the minifigure legs right into. Very nice, very simple. Much prefer that to the old style. Now, if we turn this on its side, you can see that we do have this nice big interior space there. And I'm just going to go ahead now and talk to you about the small little ATRT side build that comes with this, which can actually go in there. I'll show you that in a sec. Let's move that out of the way and talk about this. Now, this is a nice little ATRT. It's not particularly detailed, but it is a good little build. Now, a lot of people have problems with the Lego ATRTs, the normal ones, because they say that they're too big. And you know, I can see where they're coming from with that. You know, compared to in universe, the minifig scale, they're kind of 4 times too big. It doesn't bother me so much simply because you have extra detail. But I think if Lego were ever going to go just for, you know, ones that fit with minifigs, I think they can really go wrong with this. This is a very small, nice little build. Unfortunately, it doesn't have much detail just due to the size, but it is certainly nice. So you have a stud shooter on the front that has full rotation. I'm not going to show you how a stud shooter works. I'm sure you already know. You have 2 antennae at the back. They can fold down, and that's going to be very crucial later fitting it in there. You have legs on the bottom that can move. You have quite a few poses that you can put them in that just about work, but you know, you're going to pretty much want to keep it in the same position the whole time to make sure it doesn't fall over. You can slot a minifigure in there. I've got the Scout Trooper in there. It's a bit of a pain getting them up, because what often happens is that all comes up, which is slightly annoying. Then you have to take the minifigure off and place that back down again, which can be a bit fiddly. As you see there, the whole thing just collapsed. So I think this is one of the main reasons why Lego don't use this when they are making ATRTs for like battle packs and stuff, they go slightly bigger. And then getting it back into a bit of a pain as well. You often kind of end up knocking this off because this is just attached with those two studs, which is very, as you can see, it's a nice little build, but it's not particularly sturdy. One thing I do really like about this is the olive green colour of it. I think that looks absolutely amazing. I love that. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you how this fits in the Juggernaut. So as we have our little ATRT here, so you're going to want to be able to fit it in this space there. So I'm just going to fold it up, and the way they show to do that is take the antenna down. This goes down between the legs, and just kind of fold the legs up as much as possible. So you can see that I've just done a few clicks and they're in place, and that is fairly nice and thin. And then if I go ahead, I can very simply slot it in there. It goes in quite easily, shut it, and then you can see that I have a nice little very compact ATRT in my clone turbo tank, which is super nice, very nice feature, and I was very pleased to get that in this set. Now if I just reopen, if I go to the side here, you can see that we have two spring-loaded missiles. These spring-loaded missiles aren't great because they tend to fall off a lot. Almost every time that you pick up this set, I find, because there's no, there's nowhere to grab this set. I mean, you have the handle there, but often you just want to pick it up, and you end up pushing down on these. Spring-loaded shooters go off nice and fine. They are blue spring-loaded shooters, and you have a spare one. You've got one of two on the other side, and then you have spare ones inside. Now these, I didn't realise this until about 2 hours ago. These are actually supposed to be rocket launchers or guns or some sort, and you just twist them and fire. But I hate those because literally every time I pick this thing up or move it, these are going to fall off. They're flimsy, they're not well attached, they've got bad rotation, and they're just, I wish they would have secured them with something better and told you what they actually were, because I thought they were just kind of annoying display pieces, and they don't work. I think Lego should have done something better with those. Now if we go back to the interior here, you can see that it is fairly spacious. I'll just take this ATRT out. So what I actually did with mine is I modded it, and you can get about 6 troops in there, which is quite nice, because otherwise you only have space for 2 troops at the front and then 1 at the back. Now that does very much annoy me, because Lego seem to be going through this phase at the moment of putting very little space in transport vehicles for them to transport troops. I mean, this turbo tank in universe, it can fit between 50 and 300 troops in the interior space, depending on the configuration. 300 troops, and I could fit a 1/100th of that in there. We should at least have some interior space where we could fit troops, and we should have the troops to go with that. I think that is where this set falls apart, because you don't have any proper interior space, and unfortunately, because of the way it's configured, you can see a lot of the Technic in there, which is disappointing. Another really good feature of this, however, is if you see these yellow knobs on the side, one on the side, if you just twist them up, you have this little kind of command post that comes up, which is a really, really nice feature. I really like that, and I'm glad Lego decided to include that. You can take my figure, again we'll take Command Degree, and just perch him on top of there. You do have some rotation on there, but it's not great, and I like it. It's slightly flimsy, it wobbles quite a lot, but overall I think it's quite a nice feature and a good little inclusion. If we turn it around, there's the angle from the front, and it does also have a printed control panel on there, and to get it down you do the same you were to get it up, but just the opposite way, and you can maybe see the pin coming down in there now. You also have this top gun here, and again that's quite a nice top gun. I like it. It's got good rotation, which is a nice feature to see on this. You can take one of your minifigures and just plant them on there and have them operating the gun. The problem is with this, you can't get their hands up there, because you can see that comes his visor there, which isn't really any use. And also, if you do want to put a figure on there, he can only shoot one way because minifigures can't move. So I'm not sure. If I was redoing this, I wouldn't have included that handle there to make it look like a minifigure should be shooting that. I would have just kind of got rid of that and put a 2x2, a 1x2 plate there. I just had a rotation there. I think that would have worked a lot better for Lego. Close it up and show you that we also have a handle on this set, just right there. Very easy to lift with, right in the centre of gravity, works very well, nice and strong. Now, the set does tilt forward when you do that, which is slightly unfortunate, but I don't really have a problem with that. We'll turn to the middle section here now. You can see that does actually open up, which I think is a really nice feature. You can open that up on both sides and get a small crate in there. Just open that. It's got 2 replacement studs for the stud shooters and a thermal detonator. You could put anything you want in there really. That slots back in and closes up nicely. On the back here you have another cockpit. This one, the sides don't open, the top opens, and that. And again, you've got one seat and you can put the minifigure in there. You do have a printed control panel there as well. And then on the top of this you have a stud shooter. Now, one of the main and most kind of attractive features of the set is obviously the wheels. It's got 10 very nice, very sturdy wheels. If I do that, you can see the amount of suspension that's got. That thing's not going to fall over. In fact, I dropped this off one of my shelves the other day. It just rolled straight off. So this was a shelf, a foot high in the air, and it went off nose first, and it was fine. It took me, a few things popped off. I think the stud shooters came off and these came off. It took me 2 minutes to repair. So that is one very good feature of the set. It's very nice and sturdy. Now I have a droid here. He's my guinea pig. I'm going to put him in front of the wheels, and you can see if it decides to go over, I'll just hold it in place. It goes over absolutely fine, no problem, and it stays very nice and still, which I think is a very good feature of this set. And that is all the playability that we get in this set. So the first minifigure that we get in this set is Luminara Unduly. This is, I'd say, probably the best, in fact definitely the best version of Luminara Unduly that we've got to date. We have this fantastic, absolutely brilliant chest and leg printing. You've got this really nice kind of continuous thing over the waist, that lovely gold pattern on her legs. We can see unfortunately no arm print. On the back we do have a cape. It is the newer kind of softer material, and it does hide a back print. If we turn her back around, we can see that she is carrying a green lightsaber, and we have this lovely headdress here. I absolutely love that. I'm going to take that off and give you a quick closer view of that. That is a really nice dark brown headpiece. Absolutely love that for her. And we do have 2 faces. We have this kind of nice smiling face at the front, and then if I turn her around, oh god, there goes her cloak, we can see that we have this angry face at the same time, and she's just fallen off the stand. Whoops. And that's just it for Luminara Unduly. Our second minifigure is Quinlan Vos, and this is only the second time that we have seen Quinlan Vos, and he is much, much better than the first time that we saw Quinlan Vos. We first saw him, I believe, in the Republic frigate. He was good there, but he's really, really nice minifigure here. I love the skin tone they've given him. It works so, so nicely. And they've got this kind of, because he's quite a kind of renegade Jedi in the Clone Wars, and they've got that, they really show that in his printing on here. Again, a lovely continuous print. Black handpiece. This kind of stubbly, almost grizzled face with the yellow line across. And then if we turn that around, we can see that he does indeed have a second face, which is slightly angrier. And he also has this really, really good back print. And we also have a green lightsaber for Quinlan Vos. Our third minifigure is again an absolutely brilliant minifigure. and this is Clone Commander Gree. We've got him in a few sets since this one came out, but on time release this was exclusive to the set. Now he's just got this beautiful, really nice camouflage printing there, with this kind of lovely olive green waistband, and then again the camo down there. Just a normal blast pistol, and he's got binoculars there. Has again a really nice back printing, kind of pouches there with straps for all his equipment, and then dark green arms. Really nice to see that change. He again has this beautiful helmet piece here with the dark green stripes and the green visor. If we take it off, we now have the old, first quite odd to say that, the old angry clone faces. They've now changed them, but that is what Commander Gree has, and another beautiful minifigure from the set. Now our fourth minifigure is a clone Scout Trooper. He has a fairly similar pattern to Commander Gree, which is slightly different. We have this, he has a lot of really nice patches there. You can kind of see the markings of his armour just around there. Again, a lovely waist printing and an olive green kind of continuous waistband. He has green arms and a very similar back print again to Commander Gree. Has a really nice gun there, and this beautiful helmet piece. I believe it's the same as the Scout Trooper. I'm not entirely sure, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And again, a nice green visor. If we take the helmet off, we can see that he does again have the old angry clone face. Just a really nice minifigure for the Scout Trooper. Now that is all the minifigures that we get on the Republic side, and I think it's fairly disappointing, to be honest, for an £110 set to get only 4 Republic minifigures. You know, on the side that you're supposed to be kind of supporting in this, you just get so few minifigures. I think they should have at least included maybe 2 Kashyyyk troopers, or another one of these and a Wookiee, or 2 Wookiees, because obviously this is taking place on Kashyyyk and Revenge of the Sith. So yeah, I think they should have gone for 2 Wookiees or one of these and a Wookiee. I think that would have been the best option, and I think that would have really sold the set for a lot of people. I think the minifigure selection is just slightly disappointing, because the only minifigure that we've got left now is 2 battle droids, and I think we all know what a battle droid looks like. They're fairly standard. As I said, we do get 2 of them, and they just both have blasters. They're both identical. They're all right minifigures, but I just feel like they really could have done something special with this, and they missed out on that opportunity. So finally, my final thoughts and opinions. So, you know, as I said just now, I think the minifigure selection is slightly disappointing. I would prefer more minifigures, but I think the minifigures that we did get, particularly Luminar and Julie, Quinlan Voss and Commander Gree, were excellent minifigures. I think this is certainly the best clone turbo tank. It may not be the biggest, it's not, you know, the most classic, but I think it's a very strong model. Now, you know, I would highly recommend this to most people looking to get a clone turbo tank. I think if you've already got one, then you should be okay with maybe the most recent one. I think you've got the first one that ever came out. Definitely, it's probably time for an upgrade, get this. But I think, you know, if you're looking for a first clone turbo tank, this is definitely the best model, you know, in terms of detail and playability. But I'd say if you've already got one, you know, especially the last one that came out, I think maybe give this one a miss, especially as it's quite pricey now in 2020. You know, I think this is certainly a very good set for display and play, and I think Lego did a really good job with this. Obviously, you know, as I said, I would have preferred it to be slightly bigger, but for me that's not much of an issue, as it certainly makes up for that with its design. And I love the little side build of the AT-RT. And yeah, I just overall think that this is a very good, very strong set. So guys, tell me what you think of this set in the comment section down below. Do you have it? Do you want to get it? You know, that kind of stuff. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn your post notification bells on. Check out my other Lego review videos in the end screen now. May the force be with you, and I'll see you next time on Astromech Productions.